All right, welcome to the channel, and today we'll be talking about the HDB630 and the BTD700 dongle. It's a USB-C dongle. It's kind of a combined setup here, and these were sent over, not out, but over by my buddy Josh, and he has not asked me to say or do anything other than my honest opinion regarding these headphones because he's not a manufacturer or a seller of headphones. He's just my buddy. These are some interesting headphones. They are an ANC Bluetooth headphone, and let's talk about two things regarding these. We'll go into build and aesthetic, all that stuff, but the two factors I want to talk about is the HDB 630s without the dongle and with the dongle, and why that matters. And then why honestly, the dongle is the star of the show. So we'll TLDR that. The dongle, definitely a crazy good little device, a little on the expensive side for what it is. That being said, it is really good. It's the magic of this combo here. And then, yeah, so that's a TLDR. Let's dive right into build and aesthetic. I think the build is great. It's a plastic build though, so that's something to be aware of. The overall fit and finish is fantastic. It's very high quality plastics, and I don't have any major issues outside of the materials used. The headband is this rubbery material, and then the actual ear cups are that XM5 pleather, and that always like causes like sweaty hot spots wherever it touches both the rubbery headband and the pleather ear pads. So they definitely get that sheen of human sweat, which is not the most wonderful thing in the world. So something to be aware of, especially for us baldies here. You do have to wipe these down a bunch if you are even remotely in a warm area, because even if you're not, it'll cause sweat buildup. So that's neither here nor there. Moving on to the next thing, the overall aesthetic I really dig on. I think it's very classic and classy looking, and I really, really like it a lot. Yeah, no major issues with build and aesthetic. Now, comfort, that's a whole nother bag. Goes back to the pleather and the rubber headband here. The rubber headband, I think, is it causes hot spots because it's a little bit on the shallow side on the padding, and there's a big plastic bar that goes all the way along it on the inside, and that bar was causing hot spots for me personally. And so for other people that might not be a problem. It's just something to take into account. And then the other problem I was having is the shallowness or depth of the ear cups and ear pads. My ears would touch the inner ring of the ear pad itself. So it's a little bit on the narrow and shallow side as far as the ear cups and pads. And then my ears would touch the inner material here that's covering the driver. And that was more irritation than any major issue. And it's also, once again, a personal kind of anatomy issue and whether or not that bothers you or not. It bothers me, but it's not like a massive deal breaker or anything like that. Other than that, the comfort was good, and I didn't have any issues for long listening sessions. When I did start getting a hot spot, I would just move the headband around or take them off for a little bit and go back to listening. Let's see. Back to build real quick. I do feel like these materials that were used will break down over time, and these are not the most replaceable things, I don't think, and it's going to get kind of gross and not the best. I don't know, but time will tell. That's a feeling I have when I touch the materials and I'm messing with them, and I just don't feel like the materials would last very long, especially for a $500 plus headphone. And being plastic and stuff, it's not my favorite thing, but it's not like a deal breaker. Moving back to the use case of these, Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth with these is pretty good. Like, it paired really efficiently, more or less, with all my iOS devices, and I had no major issue there. And this is going to be mostly based off iOS use, which the iOS use case is that it doesn't have any aptX capabilities or lossless capabilities with their Bluetooth setups. So you need to have that dongle to basically get lossless audio. So Bluetooth was fine, more or less, no big deal there. It does have where's the right side? The right side, it has a touch. This is actually a touch sensitive panel. Oh, see, it turned on. But you tap it. oh God, hope I don't get whatever struck down because whatever the music was playing there. So if you tap it, it plays. If you swipe up, it goes volume up. If you swipe down, it does volume down. You could double tap, triple tap for all the other like back, forward, that kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of cool like taps. I did find, like you just saw, that whenever I was adjusting the headphone on my head, dry mouth. Talking too much. But whenever I adjusted the headphone on my head, I would accidentally hit that touch panel on the side of the ear cup, and it would like pause or volume up, or so that was kind of an irk as well as far as like software goes. But not, once again, not a big deal. Going into software itself, this does come with or you can download the Sennheiser app, and there's like a little pamphlet thing. You can just download it, or actually, when I plugged it in and Bluetooth connected, it actually popped up saying, hey, download the Sennheiser app, which I thought was kind of cool. So I downloaded the Sennheiser app, and with that, there's a lot. Like, it's really cool. You can do so much in there. If you like to EQ, it has PEQ. It has, if you don't like PEQ, but you want to just have like a baseline random swapping, it has like different sound signatures for like pop, rock, the classic, like different ones you can pick and that kind of thing. Then you can also just tweak it to your heart's desire. It has a bass boost. It has like all sorts of crazy different features inside of that app that helps you fine tune your listening experience with these. And it's really cool. I thought it was a really cool little app. So back to, or onto sound. I think without the BTD700 dongle, I found the HDB630s to be a mediocre headphone as far as sound signature goes. I honestly didn't think that they were that great. They didn't really shine at all without that dongle, and one could say that the whole purpose is for them to be with the dongle, so you get that lossless and that kind of stuff, which I agree. But a lot of people might just use them for Bluetooth and don't want to plug in or have this little dongle thing sticking out the bottom of their iPhone or whatnot. So take into account that, in my opinion, the Bluetooth without the dongle sound signature is kind of muddy. It's it's classic Bluetooth stuff. It's not going to be the most detailed. With that app that I was talking, previous Sennheiser app, you can kind of adjust it to fit better and kind of fine tune into your liking. But overall, it was pretty average sounding sound. Like, it wasn't anything that was like, oh, this is great. I was kind of actually underwhelmed pretty heavily when I first impression plugged in Bluetooth connected it and just started listening to music. Wasn't that impressed. That being said, switching over to the dongle and plugging that in, and you see that little purple light shine on when you do lossless streaming. This does 24, or the dongle lets you do 24-bit up to 96 kilohertz, which is more or less a little bit like higher quality CD quality audio, and big difference. Everything cleaned up. The veil went away. The mud went away. It got really much more detailed. Not really detailed. Much more detailed. Imaging was better. Sound signature got better. It was a neutral, warmish sound signature, more neutral than anything else. Obviously, I don't EQ. It was just straight out of the box. And I did like a bass boost at one point, and that was really cool. I like bass. But overall, even with that, it still came off as a somewhat mediocre sounding headphone. So take that into account. But it was exponentially better than any Bluetooth headphone I've used to date. That being said, you don't necessarily need the HDB630, words and these nomenclatures, to get that dongle to work properly. In fact, this dongle works with any aptX headphone. So the Focal Bathist, for instance, I was talking to a buddy acquaintance, person online, and they were using their Bathist with it, and they were like, it brought it to a whole new level. Like, it was, so that's something to be aware of. Now I'm actually interested in getting a Bathist and maybe this dongle, because that seems like a cool combo. Like, I think that would be a really dope combo. I also have my Arvana Ace. That's the only other aptX headphone or IEM that I have, is this little TWS ANC X-MEMS, like little TWS IEMs. And those are some of my favorite, like, cheap alternatives to AirPod Pros. They have a decent ANC, but their claim to fame is they have the X-MEMS driver, which is really detailed, really image focused, and it's really good. And then the sub bass on those is fantastic. It's like, it reminds me of being in like a really good car audio system with a really good sub in the trunk. So, and then when I paired it with the Bluetooth Sennheiser dongle here with the aptX, holy smokes, I didn't realize this could sound better. Like, it sounded same kind of factor that happened with the HDB630. It cleaned up, the detail got there, the imaging, everything was fantastic. It leveled it up a lot. Take that into account when you're looking at these, because this combo is about over $500. And in my opinion, for the HDB630 and the dongle, which the dongle itself is like $60 to $70, which is kind of steep for a little USB-C dongle. But and I think there's some other alternatives out there in the world. You just look up 8BTX dongles, and I think there's a couple different ones that you can get. But this one is really solid. Like, I do think this is a quality version, and it's coming from Sennheiser, so it's a well-made kind of deal. But yeah, I don't think it's worth it for that price point. This combo, this setup, I feel like this setup would have been a no-brainer, easy recommend at even like $100 to $150 cheaper or less, like taking off that price. If this came in at like $300 to $350, that would be almost guaranteed, yes, buy these. These are the best you can get on the market right now for that price point. But at the $500 price point, you're just competing with so much that can be, better, in my opinion. Like, once again, the Focal Bathist, those are exponentially more expensive headphones, but you can get them on sale or get them used, and then pair them with that the 700 dongle. These nomenclatures. You pair them with the Sennheiser 700 dongle, and it will probably be a super awesome listening experience. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the HDB 630s. I think they're great for what they are. I think they're a bit overpriced, so I personally would say wait for a sale or wait for a deal. But they are good, and especially when paired specifically with that 700 dongle, it's worth it for that, and especially if you really like the Sennheiser like the 600, 650, 6XX sound signature, or even the 560s or 540s, the 550s, that kind of sound signature. That's a very flat, slightly warm sound signature. These aren't quite as good as those headphones I just mentioned. They're like a step below those. But for ANC wireless on the go, they're pretty great. Speaking of ANC, these are okay ANC. They are not the everything beats them as far as ANC goes. It's there. It does the thing, but it's not the best. So that's another thing to take into account. But yeah, I think with that being said, that's my thoughts and opinion on the HDB 630. And I honestly think that the magic of this is the little HD or the BTD 700 dongle here. Like, I think the BTD 700 dongle is what really makes this shine. And this is what really is the thing to pay attention to. Once again, this is like a $60 to $70 dongle though. And it's a tiny little thing, not much to it. It has a little button for like syncing, I'm assuming, but yeah, that's my thoughts. I'll let everybody have their morning, afternoon, evening back. All right, cheers, everybody.